I've been playing Arknights for close to 60 hours now, and I can quite honestly say that this is without a doubt one of the most overhated games I think I've seen in recent times. This game is getting dogpiled on for no reason. Oh no, I'll tell you the reason. The reason why people are dogpiling the game is because the gacha system indeed does have flaws. The gacha system is not that great. Is it forgiving? No. Is it generous? No. Now, the only thing that would make this gacha system the best thing in all of gacha gaming is keep everything else intact about the gacha system and quite simply let the pity carry over. Now, there's a misconception with the pity carrying over. The pity to go up to your 50-50 carries over, but the guaranteed pity does not. So let's say you're building to your 80th pull, which is your 50-50th pull. Okay, that's the pull. The 80th pull is the one that's going to give you the 50-50 to see if you win to get the limited character or if you lose. If you get to pull number 70 and you don't quite get to your 6-star character, that pity carries over, which means on the next banner, you'll only have to do one more temple to get a 6-star character, but not necessarily get the limited 6-star character because you'd have to win the 50-50. But it does mean that the guaranteed 120 pity resets. So there's a little bit of a confusion and a misconception when it comes down to no pity carries over. No. The 6-star pity carries over for the 50-50, but the guaranteed pity system does not carry over. So there's a little bit of a misconception, a little bit of a confusion. Now, does that make the gacha good? No, it makes it extremely flawed. Everything else about the gacha system is perfect. I like the fact that on your 30th pull you get a free temple. I like the fact that you get a little letter of recommendation for the next banner to give you a free temple towards the pity. But if they just let all of the pity carry over to the next banner, it would make it the best gacha system in the entire game. But here's the thing. People are so focused on the gacha system, and people are so focused on that aspect of the game, and people are also still so focused on the mistake they made, Hypergriff made, about the PayPal situation, which they rectified relatively quickly. They corrected that issue very quickly on day one. They also reimbursed every single person that experienced the problem with the PayPal system. And they implemented a fix, and I'm not sure, as far as I'm aware, I believe it is ready to go for you to use PayPal. However, people are most likely not going to be inclined to use PayPal. I play the game on PlayStation. As you can see behind me, that is what I have currently got in the background. And I'm enjoying the game on PlayStation 5. The game runs extremely smooth on PlayStation 5, but all of the spending that I would be doing, like when I bought the Battle Pass, when I bought the Login Pass, I did on my PlayStation 5 just from my wallet. I had coins saved up, I had money saved up in my wallet, which is based on gift cards that I've got over the years, and I've just stockpiled them on my PlayStation. I've still got a couple of £100 worth of gift cards on my PlayStation I've just been using for all my gacha games. Only the little purchases, not the big purchases. Those I pay properly. But I digress. The PayPal situation was not good. That was a huge misstep in Hypergriff's plan to release the game. And I don't think they realized that bug was there. And they gave us a free temple as compensation. And they masked it as a thank you for supporting the game. But we all know they probably wouldn't have given us that temple if it wasn't for the PayPal situation. And every other day, every few days, they've been giving us more Aureables, or whatever the hell the red orbs are in the game. They've been giving us a lot of those, a lot of tickets. They've been giving us a few different things within the game as compensation and just to say thank you. But people are so focused on the controversial aspect of the game being the gacha. It's diverting their attention from the actual game. The game, as a core game, is very good. Very, very good. I am so lost and immersed in the world and the environment and the exploration of this game. I don't really care about the gacha system. I don't care. They give you so many characters regardless, and partially that being the reason that The gacha system is solely a character gacha. You don't get weapons in the main gacha source, in the main gacha pools. You get coins to summon on a weapon banner through summoning all the characters. Every single pull you do on the main gacha of this game is a character. And you get a 5-star guaranteed with every 10 pull, and a 6-star guaranteed every 80 pulls. And granted, like I said, the pity for the limited character doesn't follow over, but you get characters all of the time. And I quite like how they give you so many characters at the start, and there are so many 4- and 5-star characters that are so reliable and so viable and so useful. It doesn't really feel like an issue for me. Like I said, I played old school Japanese style gacha games. I know how bad these gacha games can be and how stingy these games can be. Compared to a lot of the games I've played in the past, the gacha games in the past I've played, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. There are gacha games out there that you have to pull shards, and to get 50 shards, that's how you unlock the character. Marvel, one of the Marvel gacha games, not Contest for Champions, there's another one. There's another Marvel gacha game where you have to pull shards, and there's no actual banner. It's predatory as hell. Dokkan Battle and Dragon Ball Legends, extremely predatory. Are the games inherently good and addicting? Yes. Do they respect you for your time in terms of gameplay? Yes. Do they respect you for your time in terms of a gacha? Absolutely not. It's extremely predatory. There's no pity system. So there's no limited character guaranteed. Therefore, you have to keep pulling and pulling and pulling until you just get lucky. Do I still play those games? Yes. Do I put money in these games? Absolutely not. Not for a long time. But when it comes to Hypergriff, and when it comes to Arknights Endfield, people don't really acknowledge the fact that if the pity carrying over was a feature implemented into the game, either now or from launch or in the future, it would quite literally be the best gacha system in the entire game. But still, I'm here to talk about the core game. The environment of this world in Arknights Endfield is immersive. It's very, very much Breath of the Wild, very vibrant, very, what can I say? I'm trying to find the right word to describe it. It's fun. I want to explore. There are hidden secrets all over the world to uncover. Hidden pathways, puzzles are very, very, very fun to do, and it actually requires you to use your brain. It requires a fair amount of IQ for some of these puzzles. They're fun. They're addicting. I would like to do more of these puzzles. I'd like to see more of these kind of puzzles implemented in the future of this game. I haven't even finished the story, but one thing I like is the fact that you've got an open world hub area, and then every single other area other than the hub world and the next big region that I haven't got to yet is more of a set pathway through the story and a set pathway through the map. It feels more like a platforming sandbox stage-based game rather than a huge open world game. You know what I'm saying? Wuthering Waves is a open world gacha game. Genshin Impact is an open world gacha game. Arknights Endfield has an open world hub area and hub areas, but it doesn't, the whole game isn't an open world. It's actually relatively small compared to these other open world gacha games, but because it has that hub open world, you kind of have to put it in the same category. The combat in this game, again, there's a misconception and people are struggling to understand how the combat works within this game. And to that I say, you really need to synergize your team well. And there's a reason why you probably don't like the gacha in this game, and it's probably because the combat in this game, it's probably because you don't understand it. When you understand it, it's some of the most fun I've ever had in these open world gacha games. I am, thank you, even my cat agrees with me. I am so sick and tired of the swap back single like player gacha games. Having a team-based combat system in a game like this is a breath of fresh air. A huge breath of fresh air. It's fun. I like building my teams. I like building the gear that you can build without grinding. That's another thing. The grinding in this game, other than the factory, is so simple. It's so easy. And the best part about the grinding in this game, it's the best part of the game. The factory building a production line, growing the base. The factory must grow. It's great. I love everything this game has to offer. The story, I'd say, is the weakest part of this game. Aside from the gacha, we're not talking about the gacha anymore. Aside from that, the story is the weakest part of the game. And one thing I'll say, it has amazing moments. The cutscenes are incredible. The character designs are incredible. The main villain is very interesting to me. Oh, sorry, there's two main villains. I've only met one of them. That's Dragon Lady. It's the Dragon Lady. I forgot her name. She's very interesting, even though they gave her a downgrade in her character design since the CBT. They made her look a lot more younger and her face is more rounder, where originally her face was more slick and more like 90s anime. Like it looked like she was drawn by a 90s anime style artist. And other than that, I think the story's fine. Do I think it's amazing? No. It launches you in the story into the action. It launches you straight into the action. The prologue's very fun. The first couple of missions are very fun. And there are aspects of the story that I'm getting to that I'm like, okay, the story's pretty good. Don't have to. It's not amazing, but it's enjoyable. And I'm going to probably make videos on the character stories themselves, because the character stories seem interesting because you can read the actual bio and the overall synopsis on their particular story. But yeah, I'm interested in each character's story. Speaking of, the characters in this game are so well designed. So well designed. I love the design of these characters. I love the character models. I think the voice acting for these characters is very, very good. Very, very good. I'm very impressed. Very impressed. But the one thing I think I need to talk about most is the factory system, because I'm spending most of my hours in the factory. The factory must grow. I'm growing the factory. I'm creating production lines. I need to know what I need to build next in order to grow my factory, to get the next technology, to build, grow, evolve. I'm addicted. I'd say out of the 60 hours of the game I've played, 25 of those hours have been just in the factory alone and trying to get the right resources to grow the factory. This game is very fun, very addicting. And I do believe the hate for this game is very strong. I made a video a few days ago. It was very satire, especially the first 3 to 4 minutes was very satire. I use satire comedy, sarcastic comedy, and a lot of you really dived in the comments. It's one of my most disliked video on the entire channel. And it's quite funny. I did laugh at some of these comments. Some of these comments did kind of make me chuckle. But I hear you. I do hear you. Because do I acknowledge that the gacha is bad? Yes, it's extremely flawed. Do I think it has a lot of positives? Yes. But the one thing that makes this gacha nuclear, and the one thing that makes this gacha extremely bad, is the fact that the guarantee pity doesn't carry over. But some pity does carry over, just not the guarantee pity. So there was a misconception there. And they don't really explain this to you. And other CCs that I've seen haven't explained this very well if they have. I do believe there is an abundance of leeway to give this game, and an abundance of leniency I can give this game, because all you have to do now, people are gonna dive on me for saying this. It's a selective gacha. You can get, I think, approximately 160 limited pulls just from exploring the entire game. Between 140 and 160, I think, is the overall number of limited pulls you can get just from exploring, just from exploration alone. Like, if you 100%, if you complete at least 80% of every single map in the game, including the new region, I think it's between 140 and 160 pulls, limited pulls you can get. And that's not including the standard banner, by the way. That's not including the standard banner. You can get more pulls from the standard banner just from playing the game. But for premium currency, like the red orbs, yeah, about 140 to 160 pulls. So you're guaranteed your limited character. Now, if you win 50-50, great. It means that you can save the rest of those pulls for the next banner, or whatever one you want to whatever one you want to summon for. You don't have to summon for Levitain. You don't have to summon for Yvonne. You don't have to summon for the fight, the 6-star in the middle. By the way, I got very lucky on my gacha. I lost to 50-50 to the limited character coming after Levitain's banner. And then I got Levitain after. So I got 2 of the 1.0 limited 6-star characters. So I guess I was unlucky to lose the 50-50, but I was lucky enough to technically get a future banner character. I'll take it. But I do understand the struggle and the frustration because people have become so accustomed to gacha games like Genshin, gachas such as Genshin Impact, ZZZ, HSR, Wuthering Waves, where either the character pity carries over, or the weapon ban is guaranteed, or it's a 75-25. But unfortunately, this gacha is very unique, and unfortunately, it's not going away. Because the game is very fun, very addicting. People are going to play the game and enjoy the game. Now, if you haven't played the game at all, just because of the gacha system, I recommend playing it just to experience the gameplay. The gameplay's fun. If you don't like team-based combat, I'm sorry, this game probably isn't for you. If you don't like the factory building, the game just simply isn't for you. It's not always about the gacha. It's not always about the gacha, Spider-Man. But if you're someone that solely cares about the gambling and solely cares about the gacha systems in these games, this one probably isn't for you, and that's okay. But I respect people that still play Genshin Impact. I respect people that still enjoy playing Genshin Impact and HSR and ZZZ. And if they want to play all of these other gacha games, then they can. Am I going to judge them because it's a bad gacha game? Because the gacha is bad? No. Quite frankly, you can play whatever the hell you want. But there are people out there that are deliberately throwing hate towards this game. And I mean hurtling hate towards this game. Simply because of the gacha and gacha alone. They're not talking about anything positive about the combat, about the factory building, about the character designs themselves, about how the characters feel in combat, about the environment of the game. They're not talking about the different events you can do in the game. They're not talking about the fact that you don't have to grind for gear in this game. It's all about building the gear in your factory. People aren't talking about the puzzles in this game. People aren't talking about the voice acting or the character designs. People aren't talking about the thing that makes this game a good game. They're talking about the gacha system. All they're talking about. And yeah, I wanted to take this time to talk to each and every single one of you about this topic because it's something that I wanted to touch on. Because I wanted to really, I guess this is my final full review into the game about 60 hours in and what I think of the game. And what I think of a lot more of the aspects of the game. If I gave the combat a 0 out of 10, what would I give the combat? A 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10. Solid combat, very fun. Loved the way the mechanics work. What would I give the factory system out of 10? 9 out of 10. Near enough perfect. Near enough perfect. Realistically, I could give it a 10 out of 10. But I know I'm glazing the fuck out of the game. But quite frankly, I'm not sponsored. People think I'm sponsored. I'm not sponsored. I don't really care if I do get sponsored. I'm playing the game because I enjoy playing the game. What do I think about the story? Yeah, it's about a 7, about a 6.5, 7 out of 10. That's the weakest part of the game. The story isn't amazing. It's great moments. If the moments weren't as good as they were, it would be a solid 6. But I'm going to give it a 7. 7 out of 10 for the story. Because the good moments and the highs are high, but other than that, like the lows are sort of like just not even, just a bit whatever. What else do we have? Did I talk about the actual overworld and exploration? Yeah, it's about an 8 out of 10. That's solid. It's a solid overworld. It's a solid exploration, exploring experience. Yeah, I think everything about the way this game looks and the way this game feels when exploring through the zip lines and through building your power stations to connect power to different things, to mine certain ores, is amazing. And I think it also makes the world feel more alive. Yeah, I think there are so many. Now, the gacha system, what should I rate the gacha system out of 10? I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I'll give the gacha system a 7 out of 10. If the pity carried over, like the limited character pity carried over, it would be, out of all of these open world gacha games, it would be a 10 out of 10. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. If the pity carried over, all of the pity, not just the 50-50 pity, all of the pity, it would be the best gacha system in the open world gacha scene. If they kept everything about this gacha system intact, everything we've got in the gacha system, keep it as it is, just add pity carrying over, it'll be the best gacha system. It would. It really would. It would. And I don't even think, if you dispute that, I would love to know why. I would love to know why. And if you say because it's 120 instead of the typical 80 or 90, fine, but doesn't really matter. You're still getting your 6-star at your 80th pull. You still have to win the 50-50 or lose the 50-50. And hypothetically, if you lose the 50-50 to a future limited banner character, did you really lose? Maybe not. It might not be the character you wanted, but did you really lose your 50-50? You know? It's technically a 33. It's 33% to lose the 50-50 completely. No, 33% to actually lose and get a standard banner character. 33% to get a future limited banner character. And then 33% to win the current limited banner. Yeah, it is a brand new gacha system that I like, other than the fact that the pity doesn't carry over. Yeah, there you go. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like, comment down below, and subscribe if you're new. I'll speak to you all in the next video. Take it easy and have a good rest of your day.